I was actually thinking of animals. Not hawks or squirrels, but sheep. The sheep I was pondering belonged to Charles Chalk, whose head we're on our way to busting. Charles is Honey's diamond dealer. He lives west of Chicago, out Route 90, on a farm in Hampshire, Illinois. I visited his farm years back and admired his sheep. There were dozens of them. They were black and white and fenced in, and they made noises that meant, "Save me." Oh, man. Floyd gets out of the car, looks at the windshield. He whistles long and low, shaking his head. Oh, man. We have witnessed the fucking of a Buick. Roger finishes picking glass off his torso. He wears a pork pie hat, day and night, and under the hat is a black buzz cut with one weird white streak near the left temple. Roger's smart, built, and mean. I've never crossed him. Oh, man, says Floyd. The hood's dented. If Honey were here, he'd kill that hawk, point blank. The hawk died on impact, says Roger. Floyd creases his eyes. It got off easy. I watch the hawk, whose fierce, shredded head hangs 2 feet before mine. I see no bullet wounds or other signs of why the beast kamikazed. What I see is the squirrel, out on the hood. Amazingly, he's wriggling free of the hawk's talons. He's alive, with pure white fur. Shitbox. Floyd, who's just 26, makes a reverent sound. The rat's still kicking. It's not a rat, it's a squirrel. Roger looks in the side view, re-angles his pork pie. You all right, Henry? I don't answer. The squirrel has liberated himself, and now he sits on his haunches, gazing at me through the windshield. There's some powdered glass in his fur, but he's still got a sporting chance in this world. Squirrels are brown. Floyd folds his arms. There's a cornfield behind him, and fog over the cornfield, and the sun's coming up. Well, says Roger, this one's white. The squirrel regards me. Other than the glinting powdered glass, his coat is free of blood or trauma, and his eyes are voids, black holes, like he could go on the news tonight, or home to the wife, or straight to hell. He doesn't care. How far'd you fall, I wonder. Fine, says Floyd. 3 white guys, 1 white squirrel, 1 bashed-in Buick. That's the scenario. The squirrel stares at me. I've seen dark, dead eyes like his exactly once, on a Cabrini Green Mark who owed Honey $5 last year. I cornered the Mark around midnight outside a convenience store where he'd bought a 6-pack of Schlitz. I got the guy in an alley and cracked his beer bottles over his head. But his eyes stayed gone, even when the blood trickled in. Yo, Henry Dante, you with us? Roger punches the windshield in front of me, making me jump. The squirrel scampers off the hood, into the cornfield. Floyd glares after the creature. Fucking thing. I blink at Roger. So, you're there after all. He notices my wet lap. What'd you do, piss yourself? It's soda, I say. Floyd, says Roger, pull the hawk out and chuck him. Let's get to the farm. Floyd stands in his jeans and his black tank top, which he wears year-round, heat wave or blizzard. His breath comes in vapors, and he watches them like they're crucial to the scene. Floyd loves a crisis. He once had a non-speaking part in his high school play, where he tolled a bell to indicate a man's death. I hear about the bell frequently. Oh, man, says Floyd. I was already having a lousy morning. Now Honey's Buick is fucked? This is the last straw. Roger cracks his neck, watches the sky getting bluer, grins. Roger can do that. Love colors 1 minute, club someone the next. He weighs only 190, but Roger's a Pabrinkus. He's killed men, led hitting crews. Floyd and I just do head-busting and bringbacks, so Roger's in charge. This is the straw that humped the camel. Floyd yanks out the hawk carcass, tosses it, pulls glass from the windshield like icicles. Broke his back, you mean, says Roger. Floyd considers this. No, humped him. Broke the camel's back. Roger lights a cigarette. When he killed his first mark, he ran the guy over with a stolen cab, then left the cab on top of the guy, the meter running. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, says Roger. That's what you were trying to say. Floyd gets his defensive look. He purses his lips. I said what I said. Straws don't hump camels, says Roger. No wonder you didn't get speaking parts. Oh, man, fuck you. I told the bell. Get in the car, says Roger. Floyd reclaims the back seat, and Roger revs up, pulls out. I'm still thinking about the squirrel. Air gushes through the windshield. There's an absence in our windshield now. Floyd speaks over the wailing air. There's an abyss. Roger keeps checking his eyes at me. He likes my voice more than I do. What's the word, Henry? Hawk plummets from the heavens. Accident or omen? I've worked strong-arm for Honey Pabrinkus for 7 years. Honey owns Chicago bistros, Vegas casinos, Canadian whores, the whole shebang. But his fetish is diamonds. He's the Adam Smith of the black market ice trade from Moscow to Mayberry. The rumor is Honey has a 5-carat, internally flawless back molar, but he never smiles or laughs, so I can't confirm this. Anyway, crewing for the Pabrinkus family, I've learned how to wait in cars, shatter jaws, keep my mouth shut. I've never killed anyone, though, or been on a hitting crew, or even wheelman for a hitting crew. I'm privately proud of these facts. My soul has a sporting chance. I don't know, I tell Roger. Roger chews his Chesterfield. He half smokes cigarettes and half eats them. I believe in omens, announces Floyd. Floyd, says Roger, would you do me the profound courtesy of shutting the fuck up? Floyd leans an elbow on each of our seats. He has a skinny orphan's frame, and Mark's never guessed the crazy strength in his arms. I just think there's omens. Roger taps the steering wheel. Forget the omens. Our concern is Charles Chalk. Here's today's top story. Charles Chalk has stolen the planets from Honey Pabrinkus. The planets, I guess, are a glorious, amazing, sell-your-firstborn haul of ice, a 7-stone diamond collection owned by the same Spanish family since 1790. From what Honey tells us, back around the storming of the Bastille, a wealthy Barcelona prince named Don Canto was so in love with his sweetheart that he gathered from across the globe 7 perfect diamonds, had each one cut to resemble a planet. Neptune and Pluto hadn't turned up in telescopes yet, and offered the gems to his love. Well, it worked, because prince and sweetheart married. They spawned generations of little Dons who kept reliving the story, each giving his lady, quite literally, the world, marrying her, and stashing the planets in the family safe till Junior was born, etc. Anyway, the last living Canto heir died 3 years back, and circa last week, the planet showed up on the Paris black market. Honey sent Charles Chalk to bid. Charles is a tall, bony septuagenarian on Prozac, but I guess he's a tiger on the job, and he got the planets for $40 million. The trouble came